Hi, my name's Sarah. I'm going to do a short talk today on unity consciousness. Unity consciousness is referring to the fact that there is one infinite energy field. That is God, Source, the Creator, Great Spirit, whatever you like to call it. That means everything that we perceive, that is see, hear, taste, touch, etc., is also coming from this one infinite energy field. It means that every person, every tree, every bush, every animal, every star, every planet is a part of this one infinite energy field. And that means that you are me, and I am you, and you are a bush, a tree, a camel, a planet, our planet, a star, etc. It means that every thought you think and every emotion that you feel has an effect on everybody. It means that everything that one person experiences, we all experience on some level. It is that ego mind that likes to keep us separate. Our ego has the role of keeping us safe. So our ego is constantly judging, comparing people and situations to try and keep us safe. But that ends up just keeping us feeling separate from each other and from God. So if you find your ego is judging, comparing, just send it a burst of love up to your mind and reassure it that it's safe. So our ego justifies what we do to our planet with making us feel inadequate if we don't have this and that. So we end up buying more and using up the earth's resources. Our ego justifies what we do to animals by making us feel like animals are inferior and that our needs are more important, be that how we treat them, be eating them or taking away their habitat. Our ego justifies aggression towards other countries and other people by assuring us that the best form of defense is attack. And this hatred or this resentment or anger, etc., whatever people are feeling towards other people ultimately has its roots in fear. So we are shifting en masse from the third dimension to the fifth dimension. In the third dimension, we experience duality. That is love and hatred, grief and joy, forgiveness and unforgiveness, abundance and scarcity. But when we can rise above duality and live from our true authentic self, we can free ourselves from the grip of illusion of lack, fear, resentment, guilt and shame, etc. And it is actually your birthright to live a life of abundance, ease, joy, peace and love. This takes an awareness of your beliefs, of your thought patterns, of your emotions, clearing your stuck emotions, healing your wounds, so that you can act in integrity. Now your ego is going to make out that that's a lot of work, and that's just because your ego doesn't like change. It likes to keep you small, and it fears change. It likes to keep you in your comfort zone, so it thinks it's keeping you safe. But please know that you are innately wired for connection and innately wired for ascension. And ascension ultimately is an awareness of your an expansion of your consciousness. And when you're expanding your consciousness, this is you becoming more aware of yourself and everything around you, and also of what's real and what's not. And the rewards are huge. You can then live a life of ease, joy, peace, love and abundance, and you also have greater perception. So we only have a small perception of what's real at the moment, and when you're in the fifth dimension, for example, everything twinkles and looks more beautiful. So it's also important to know everything that you heal and clear from yourself, you are also clearing from the collective. I cannot emphasize how important it is to forgive yourself and forgive others. Keeping yourself in bondage is what happens when you don't forgive. So you end up living the same life over and over again, the same pattern over and over again until you learn to forgive. It is also really important to have compassion for self and compassion for others, love for self and love for others. And I just want to give you an example of this. So in 2010 and 2011, I lived through a year of many earthquakes. And often these earthquakes, and many thousands of aftershocks, and often these aftershocks would happen at night. So in that year, nobody had much sleep, and everybody was acting from survival mode, which means that you don't think properly. People's nerves were frayed, people were very stressed, they couldn't think clearly. So often people would do things like going to the garage and fill up their car with petrol and then drive off without paying. And it wasn't that they meant to steal any petrol, it's just they weren't thinking properly. People would get to a supermarket and check out all the groceries and realise that they hadn't got any money to pay for the groceries. And again, this was just because they weren't thinking properly. But what happened was there was a huge amount of compassion for others as everybody tried to rebuild their lives. And there was a lot of bonding that happened. And there were so many occasions where the next person in line said, "It's okay, I'll pay for your groceries." Or the next person in line said, "It's okay, I'll pay for that person's petrol." And this is unity consciousness in action. But what we've experienced for the last 18 months is a complete lack of unity consciousness. Yes, a country's leaders obviously have a great responsibility to keep their citizens healthy. But what happened was that some countries withheld information of treatment and the spread of COVID. And drug companies raced to produce the first vaccine instead of working together as a whole. So we need to bring the world together as a whole. You know, if you're looking at the planet from space, there's no country boundaries, are there? So please heal and let go of the past and see past the illusory boundaries of religion, culture, and skin colour. You know, we've all had lives of being different coloured skins, of being having a different culture and having different religion. The real you, the divine consciousness that you are, this infinite energy field that you are, doesn't judge anybody else at all. It's only your ego and your belief system that are keeping you stuck in the same patterns. So we need to have compassion for all. So I'm going to leave you with the Native American 10 Commandments, because these are reinforcing unity consciousness. So the first one is, treat the earth and all that dwell thereon with respect. Remain close to the Great Spirit, that is God, Source, the Creator. Show great respect for your fellow beings. Work together for the benefit of all mankind. Give assistance and kindness wherever needed. Do what you know to be right. Look after the well-being of mind and body. Donate a share of your efforts to the greater good. Be truthful and honest at all times. Take full responsibility for your actions. So I hope that's useful. Be the change you want to see in the world. And I just want to leave with a message from my heart to give to you. And my heart said, please know that we are living in a dream state. And when we awaken, we are going to bring in the golden age. So much love and many blessings from my heart to yours.